We find ourselves here again, about to talk about the Tekken team, because for whatever reason, Harada and the Tekken team cannot help themselves and continuously keep on shooting themselves in the foot. And I can't tell you why they keep doing it. Their responses to questions, their behavior on social media, and the way Season 2 has been treated is some of the most bizarre shit I've ever seen in my life. Now, Harada went to Comic Con the other day. I believe he was in Bahrain, and he answered 2 questions. And these 2 questions, or rather the answers, have sparked some controversy on Twitter once again. And I know it seems like we're always complaining about Harada and the Tekken team and Season 2, but you would be lying if you said we did not have good reason to complain. Now, I'm going to break down why what he said is a problem. プラットフォーマーと今話をしているので、なんかどっかでいいニュースが出せればいいなと思ってます。
Well, I'm discussing in the company and talking about old titles. There's still a possibility. So I'm now discussing in the company. So there's a possibility.
Now, the less pressing question was, are Harada and the Tekken team going to release Tekken Tag 1 and Tekken Tag 2? And essentially, they said they're looking into it. It's a possibility. They're talking with the company. So there's some hope there, which is great. To be honest with you, I don't even care if they give us a ranked mode in it. If you release Tekken Tag 1 and Tekken Tag 2 and give us a basic spectator feature mode where we can sit in there with like 10 to 16 people, maybe a tournament mode, maybe a league mode, maybe I'm pushing it, that would be great. Don't even need you to do a rank. Don't stress yourself. That's all fine. So that question was answered. It's whatever. But the first question is where we have an issue with what Harada has said. Now, Harada was asked, why is there a lack of game modes in Tekken 8? Why are there a lack of game modes in Tekken 8? And Harada responded with, demand is low and development is difficult. Demand is low and development is difficult. Now, before I get into why this is a problem, I want you to take a look at this. This is the Steam charts right now, and this is how many people are actively playing the game. That says 5,000. That number peaks at about 6,000. It usually drops below 5,000, so we're sitting between 4,000 to 6,000 players on Steam. If you go over to look at PlayStation numbers, which, fair enough, are very unreliable, you will find that Tekken 8 doesn't usually go beyond 8,000 or 10,000 players. Now, even though the numbers are unreliable, we know that Mortal Kombat 1 and Sparking Zero have been in the top 15 most played games for some number of months on the PlayStation. Now, we know that Sparking Zero is above Mortal Kombat 1, but Sparking Zero lost 90% of its player base. And when I look at their numbers, they're sitting at about 12,000 to 11,000. So if Mortal Kombat 1 and Sparking Zero are above Tekken 8 on PlayStation, it stands to reason that Tekken 8 would have no more at peak than 10,000 players. So let's say that on a daily basis, Tekken 8 has about 15,000 players. How many people purchased this game? Over 3 million. Just over 3 million. They reported they sold 3 million copies. That's nothing to scoff at, but that's not how many people are playing the game. So it would stand to reason the 5,000 on Twitch and the potential 10,000 on PlayStation are the more hardcore players. That doesn't mean they're pro players. It doesn't mean they're intermediate. They can be crappy players. They can be people that don't really know what they're doing, but they're people that love Tekken. They log in every day. They play the game. They're the ones that are likely to interact with your battle pass and interact with your stores. So they are the ones you are selling things to. So they should be your target audience. 3 million people purchased your game. That is correct. 3 million people are not playing your game. Now, it would stand to reason that those 15,000 people are probably likely on Twitter complaining about the state of Season 2. I'd wager a high number of that 15,000, a high percentage of that 15,000 are on Twitter complaining about Season 2. On Twitter, we have said multiple times that we do want new modes for Tekken 8, namely Team Battle, Tournament Mode, and League Mode for lobbies. We want to be able to do Team Battle, Tournament Mode, and League. And when I say Team Battle, I don't mean Tag Battle, because people get that confused. We mean Team Battle. We just want to be able to partner up Reina and Paul, or King and Yoshimitsu, and King of Fighter Style. When one character dies, the next one comes in and the health bars continue over. We don't need no tag or anything. I'm not saying anything crazy like that. I know development costs will go way up if they start doing that. So let's keep it simple. There has been high demand for that. I don't know what he's talking about. The 3 million people that bought the game are not demanding anything because they're not playing it. So when he says there's been no demand, I don't know what he's talking about, because I'm on Twitter. I interact with a large number of the Tekken community, at least over here in Europe and over in NA. And I see the same things from everyone. People are saying the same things. Now, I would wager, I don't know, but I would wager that adding in brand new moves to a game that already has tons of moves, so you have to balance those new moves around hundreds of other moves and loads of systems, is going to cost more money than team battle and tournament mode. You are fundamentally changing characters. Intricate and detailed changes, or at least they're supposed to be, cost less than team battle. And you might be asking, well, why are you comparing? The reason I'm comparing is because multiple people said, please don't add new moves into the game. There are enough problems as it is. We don't need new moves right now. A lot of the player base that are still playing the game, of this 15,000, said that we don't need new moves. There were people on my podcast that were very vocal about it. These podcasts have been highly viewed. There's other people that appeared on other podcasts that have been highly viewed. There are tweets on Twitter that have been highly viewed of people saying, please don't do this. There were also a number of people that made suggestions for season 2 that kind of echoed the community sentiment. Don't nerf character weaknesses. Don't patch out nuances in the characters. Don't increase heat. Don't increase homing and tracking capabilities. And they did the complete opposite. Now, I'd be willing to bet that that takes a lot of manpower, time, and resources, more so than a team battle mode. See, people can say as much as they want that the FGC is always complaining, we don't know what we want, X, Y, and Z. But at the end of the day, the small number that the FGC is, and the small number that you see on Steam, and you see on PlayStation, and I guess Xbox. I don't know who's playing it on Xbox. Why are you even playing Xbox at this point? Nobody's over there, and they just hike the prices up. Anyway, I'm not here to flame Xbox. But I'm saying there's 15,000 roughly playing a day. Those are the people that you should be catering to. They are the ones that are going to see your battle pass, see your store. They're the ones that are going to make noise on Twitter, make YouTube videos. Instead, who are you getting your demand from? I'm confused. What, the 3 million people that are not playing the game? Now, obviously, people have gone to Twitter and people are pissed. They're listening to these answers that Harada has given and they're all like, what do you mean there's been no demand? Bear in mind, the posts on Twitter get hundreds of thousands of views. These are the people that are paying attention to what's going on, and it's been overwhelmingly negative. It's not just the Tekken community that is ripping into Tekken. Everybody is right now. Tekken is the laughingstock of the fighting game community and other communities that I've interacted with. Everybody kind of has an idea that Tekken has fallen off the deep end. And it might seem like we're always complaining, but you would be lying if you said that we didn't have good reason. This is an absolutely tone-deaf answer. Who are they listening to? I mean, they didn't listen to us in the balance. And then we made suggestions for other things, and they chose to not listen again and then make out like there's no demand and that development costs would be high. It would be difficult to develop a team battle mode. I see modders overnight making changes to moves, making changes to costumes, making changes to stages, to properties, changing lighting and whatnot on the stages overnight, free of charge in their houses. But we can't get team battle because it's too much to develop. At this point, it feels like there are people butting heads in the Tekken team because Harada's been at this helm for a very long time. He's been the captain steering the ship, and we've never seen problems like this before. I imagine it's something like what's going on over at the WWE with Triple H and The Rock, and it seems like they're butting heads creatively. I feel like somebody has come into the Tekken team who has equal or maybe more power than Harada, who is overriding all of his decisions, because these decisions that are being made and the things that are being said make no sense whatsoever. Like, Tekken needs to hire a PR team at this point and get these guys to stop talking. I mean, there would be nothing to talk about if Harada didn't say those things. And again, the first thing he said, or the second thing where it's like they're looking into Tekken Tag 1 and Tekken Tag 2 and they'll see. Okay, cool. I'm not holding my breath. Honestly, I'm really not holding my breath at this point. However, it's a whatever thing. We can only take his word for it. But him saying what he said about a lack of demand in game modes and development costs being difficult and high makes no sense. Again, who are we catering to here? The 3 million people that are not playing the game, or the roughly 15,000 that log in every day that are bitching and complaining on Twitter that the game is in a shambolic state and there are a lack of things across the board. Now, we know we're getting a patch soon. Maybe there'll be a couple surprises in the patch. Who knows? But it's no wonder the Tekken community continues to complain. They have plenty to complain about. Anyways, I didn't plan on making a video today. I was in the gym. I watched Thunderbolts late last night with Ellie. Good film, by the way. Stay for the 2 post-credit scenes. I was actually pleasantly surprised by it. I was going to play Bleach today, wash my hair because it's in a bit of a state, and then go-karting. But I saw this and I was like, man, I got to say something. Now, I know some people don't like it when I get onto Harada and the Tekken team. That's just tough shit. It is what it is. Like, what do you want me to say to that? That is some nonsense. And forget me. There's enough people on Twitter right now going, what the fuck did he just say? So, you let me know what you guys think. Another day in Tekken land for us to harp on it. I guess they're giving us free content at this point. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you very soon. Take care and peace.